Lori here from the Goodbye Good Girl Project. And I hope that you're having a beautiful Sunday. I hope you're having a kind Sunday. I hope that you are doing well and that life is treating you well. And that if it isn't, you have figured out how to shift that by your emotion. Look what we've got here for our first card for us. Knight of Cups. Moving forward with emotion, moving forward with care, giving yourself some consistent care. Now, we all live in something that I call the patriarchal castle, where the rules are that you don't matter, how you feel doesn't matter, and you have no power. And then that gets translated over to religion, and that's terrible. Religion is terrible. It was put together in order to keep us, in order to keep us enslaved, in order to keep us out of our own power. What is our own power? What does that even mean? You know, power, scary term. Power is regenerative. Power is generative. Power is feminine. Now you can have control. That's not feminine. That's control. That's where you've got, if you want to use the word power, that's power over, not power with. Power with is when you have the divine masculine and feminine together, doing their work together, where the divine masculine knows what it can and can't do. It understands that the feminine is how we keep our lives going. It understands that the feminine includes the masculine. And the masculine understands that it can't lead the way. You have to be born before you can do something. You have to be in your feminine before you can bring in your masculine. Masculine in this age, this waning age of control, doesn't like that. It doesn't like that. It wants to be in control. And so we get into this religious nightmare. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Lori. I'm with the Goodbye Good Girl Project. I apologize for being a little late today. Fell back to sleep, and that was the end of that. Oh, look, this just came up. We're starting a new day. We're starting a new day, you guys. Thank you, Miss Dawn. Good morning, you guys. We're starting a new sense of what is important to us emotionally. My entire teaching for you. Good morning, Cher. Very nice to see you. Thanks for being here. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, and this isn't that long ago. This is probably about, 6 months ago or something. Hello, my darlings. Much love to all of you. Much love to all of you. I stumbled across a little tiny snippet of something. Aw, thank you. Thank you, Miss Dawn. It was a snippet of a man I had never heard of before, never seen before. And it was so compelling because it was about how you cannot look at the Bible from a traditional way. You can't look at it as if it's real, as if that stuff really happened. And he had physics and astrology and numerology and all kinds of really cool stuff to back up his stuff. And that was just a little snippet. So I went to YouTube and I went and looked at him, and I became absolutely enthralled by listening to this man and his insights about how the sacred texts, the Bible, the Kabbalah, the Vedas, all of it is about, they're how-to manuals for us, for how do you be your divine self within the human body? How do you go through the journey of awakening? And that doesn't mean exempting your natural, real day-to-day life. That's what all of those tomes are about. They're about you. They're not about how you're behaving and whether you're a good girl or a bad girl. Has nothing to do with that. Nothing at all. But we have been enculturated. I do not care if you've never stepped foot in a church or a temple in your life. If you live in the US, if you live in the West, Western culture, you've been indoctrinated. You've been programmed. It's okay. You didn't do it. You adhered to it. What I'm doing is showing it to you. Because when we can see, then we have choice. Okay. It gets tricky. It gets a little tricky, I know. Hey, could you guys hit the screen and give me some hearts there? We've got one heart. How sad is that? It'll get me out to the FYP. We can get other people in here who would like to love, who would love to understand they're not alone. So if you just keep hitting the screen, that would be completely epic. Thank you to whoever's doing that, or all the people that are doing that. Hi, Pepper. And also share this out. Sharing this out does a lot. Okay. So let me look at something I have here. Now there are two. Let me share some things from the world of Bill Donahue. Thanks, Cara. Or if it's Cara, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. Bill Donahue was an absolutely genius and funny and warm and lovely, revolutionary, spiritual, physics-based, numerology-based. I mean, the man had his fingers in frickin' everything. He was incredible. He was incredible. And you can watch him on YouTube for a long time because there are like over 1,000 of his videos. And every one of them peels another layer of the religious garbage away from your mind. Now, my stance on this is obviously clear. But let me say to you that if you are somebody who really likes religion, like it helps you, let it help you. Everything that we do in our life is everything that we do that helps us is different at different periods of time. The problem we get into is when we cling to something that helped us when we were 12 and it doesn't help us when we're 45. That's the problem we get into. We're like, but it has to help. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. You've changed. You changed. Good for you. Yeah. This is, thank you, Pepper. Thank you for that confirmation. The thing that religion does is it gives you absolutes. But the absolutes are all based on the idea that you don't know anything, that you are a victim to your life, that there's a distance between you and the divine. That one is, as I'm feeling it in my body right now, is probably the most intense lie ever. You are made of divine stuff. We are made of divine stuff. The reason that we're not living that is because we don't believe it. We don't see it. We're having a problem with finding that that has anything to do with our lives. Fair. It's fair. We've been so, excuse me. Sorry. We've been so, stop it, Lori. And I'll be back. I gotta get water. Okay. Thank you for waiting. We've been so enculturated. Hey, JD. To believe that. Hi, Bridget. We're talking about everything that brings us out of religion and dogma and spiritual dogma, and into the freedom of our energetic oneness with that which is. We've been, Ted Nabbit, we have been enculturated to believe that we don't have any power, that we are distant from the divine. And we are actually made of divine stuff. If you listen to the astrophysicist Neil, whatever his name is, I never can remember it. And he talks about how physically we are made of stars that were created, I don't know how long ago. Physically created of this stuff. So then why are we not living it? Why are we not anywhere near our ability to like do some basic stuff? Like, why can't I find the job? Or why can't I get better from the illness? And why can't, like, if I'm that powerful, if I'm that full of power, why can't I use it? This is the question that religion does not want you to ask. Hello, beloved Paragon. How are you, Naren? That's the question they don't want you to ask. I want you to ask it. I want you to say, if I am all that, if I am made of the energy that creates worlds, if I am made of the divine, then how come I can't act divinely? How come I can't just do this and boom, everything is great? Hi, guys. Welcome to the party. It's a great freaking question. It's the kind of question that is generative. It's going to generate movement within you. Hello, my darling Chloe love. Mwah. It is the kind of question that's going to make your head explode, and that's what you're looking for. You are looking for the kind of question that is so outrageous to your system, to your brain, to your nervous system, to your setting, everything, all of your personal settings, that it makes you stop and go, what? You want that because you are interrupting the pattern that you are in. We run on the patterns that we have established or that have been programmed within us until we realize that we have the ability. We can interrupt them. We can use our intentionality. We can use our focus. We can use our emotion to change the trajectory of our own river. Right? You've been living right here, trying, right? Just do it. Go for the goal. Try. And you're like, I'm trying, I'm exhausted, I'm 50, I'm 60, I'm 70, I'm still trying. Stop trying, it's not working. I know, because when I was 55, I found myself broke and homeless from trying. I can try like nobody else you know. Oh my God, I'm a perseverer. This is good, but if it's not balanced with rest, if it's not balanced with receiving, then you're just grinding your gears, man. Seriously. So if you're like me, if you're like, try, fucking stop it. Please. It's weird, I know, but like the toughest thing that you could do if you are a trier is to take a day where you're not allowed to try. Oh my God, you won't know what the hell to do with yourself. But then God won't love me. Oh no, then I won't be a good person. Oh no, then I won't be acquiring. Oh no, then when in fact, The opposite is the truth. The opposite is the truth. Because everything that we have been, yeah, right, I have to tell everyone I'm trying to make them happy. Yeah, screw that. They're in charge of their own happiness just like you are. Doesn't mean we don't want to be a source of happiness for other people. But my happiness is not anybody else's responsibility. And that's what we don't understand. We do not get that we have the ability to practice levels of happiness. Oh no, my church tells me, my temple tells me, my everybody tells me that I'm supposed to strive. I'm supposed to try to become worthy of God's love. Oh my goodness. What a load of rubbish. How are you even sitting here? To ask you, how did you come to be? Well, my mom and my dad did a lovely little dance together, and here I am. But how did that happen? How did the cells of you come together? And how did you get the kind of brain that you have and the nervous? That's the mystery. And you're made of it. You're still alive because of it. You are. No, I'm still alive because I'm still alive. No. You are lived by an energy that runs you as if you were a divine puppet, but without being a puppet. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like it's like you have your hand up your own back going, hello, my name is Lori. I'm Lori. And I've apparently killed my throat for the morning. Terrific. Hey, Angie, thanks for the follow, honey. Look, here's where I'm coming from. Hi, Stork. Here's where I'm coming from. Once upon a time, when I was 29, oh, you're very welcome. I was 29, and I was looking for answers to depression. I was looking for answers, and I found a little flyer in a bookstore. It had a man on it, a story on it about, that's great, Janice. Now you can take the next step. Practice that worthiness within you. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. So I found this brochure in Seven Stars bookstore in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And it was a story about a spiritual traveler, and it was a very compelling little story. And the guy who'd put it out was a man who called himself John Carringworth. And so I called him and I set up an appointment, and I walked into his apartment and fell madly in love with him. Now, he was not madly in love with me. He had a girlfriend. But anyway, this man, because I was like gaga at 29 and like, oh my God, he said to me, look, there's a woman who's coming to Boston. Her name is Amachi. She's called the Hugging Saint. Well, maybe she wasn't called that then. But anyway, Amachi. And she's the real deal. I'm like, I don't know what real deal means, but okay. If he said it, I was in. Excuse me. This was 1988. 1988. So he said, here's where it's going to be. It's going to start at 10 in the morning. And okay. Or no, was it the evening program? Doesn't matter. It was the evening program. So anyway, I go, and for the first time in my life, I see a place where everybody takes off their shoes. 1988, takes off their shoes, puts them in these little bookcasey area, and I'm like, okay, people are there in saris, people are there in Western clothing, all kinds of stuff. And I sit down. There's only maybe, I'm going to say, maybe 35 of us. And we're sitting there on the floor. And then suddenly everybody stands up, and I'm like, what? So I stand up, and on this side of the room, like the waters part, and this little tiny woman, 4 foot something, all dressed in a white sari, comes through the crowd. I'm like, okay. And what I remember, the very first thought I had on seeing her was, if she weren't wrapped tightly in that sari, she would immediately ascend. Now, what makes that an extraordinary thing to think is that I had never in my life met a saint. I had never met an enlightened master. I'd never seen one, except maybe, the Beatles Maharishi thing, and I'd see maybe a picture. I don't know. So there was something existent within me that, there you are. Oh my God, there you are. Thank goodness. And what? So she went up on this little teeny tiny stage. Yep, Cher, Oh, it was an incredible introduction. So she sits down. She was only like 33. I don't even think she was wearing the dot yet, which she does now all the time, but I don't think she was doing that then. She sits down and she's surrounded by maybe 6, maybe 4, maybe 6 men. I think there was maybe one woman there, maybe, not sure. The musicians who were going to sing sacred songs, which are called bhajans. So she starts singing. They were what's called call and response songs, where somebody sings, I love you, you sing, I love you. How are you doing? How are you doing? Those are not the words, but it's that's call and response. La la la, la la la, la 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 la, la 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 la. It's call and response. Okay? And she starts singing, and I'm watching her, and I'm like, what are you? Who are you? What's happening? What are you doing? And I remember what I was hearing in the sounds, because I was brought up in a musician family. My parents were classical musicians. They were teachers and performers internationally, so I have a keen ear. And what I was hearing in her music was Jewish music. I was hearing a Jewish lilt to it. I was hearing different aspects in it, and I'm going, this is interesting. Had no idea what she was singing about. Had no idea she was singing about the divine. I had no clue at all. Just like, it's in an Indian language, I don't know what's happening. It was in Sanskrit, which is the oldest known language, as far as I know. Unless they've discovered something in the last few years. That's what I know. But it was interesting. It was really fascinating. Now, my friend John, the guy I'd fallen madly in love with, or at least madly in crush with, no, it was love, says madly in love with, was, he had told me, you've got to stay for her hug. You have to stay, because she hugs people. And it's absolutely transformational. You've got to stay for Amachi's hug. I'm like, okay. So the singing, the bhajans stop. Then we do this she does this beautiful closing sort of thing, which is like a prayer, acknowledgement of the Divine Mother. And then she sat in another chair to receive people. So we all start scooting up on our butts. We're all scooting up to her on our butts. And what I'm feeling is rage. I'm just enraged. It took me a long time to figure out why I had been enraged in that moment, but I was pissed. And I'm like, we're all ruining our clothes. What the hell? What are you having us do? But I get up to her. Now, John had said, you've never felt anything like this hug in your life. You never felt anything like this in your life. So because John had said, thank goodness, John came in as the pole around which I could dance and learn to and get close enough to the divine feminine embodied that it would change my stinking trajectory of my life. Thank God. Because otherwise, I would have been like, yeah, that sounds like something the Beatles would do. Because that's what I thought of gurus. That's what I knew of gurus. Yeah, that sounds like something the Beatles were into. That's where I was when I met her. And then I met her. So I go up. I'm pissed off. She takes me into her arms. I'm like, I don't feel anything different. Hardly a surprise. And she lets me go, and I go home, and I'm furious. I am pacing around my apartment like, now, I will fast forward for you. I was pissed because my mother had been dead for 8-9 years, and I was destroyed. I was done. I was over. I was through. And it was like, where the F have you been? That's what the anger was. Where the fuck have you been? That was the anger. That was the rage. So the next day, I'm getting ready for work, and John calls me. And he says, look, my girlfriend can't take me this morning. She has to go do something. Could you possibly drive me to the meeting house for the morning program? And I said, well, I got to go to work. I got to be at work at 8, so I'm going to have to drop you really early. He said, that's okay. I said, okay, great. So I pick him up, drop him, I go to work. All I can think about all damn day is Amachi. That's all I can think about. I'm like, and everything in my body, I mean, every like, you know how when you really want something, your whole body is just like, okay, well, let's go. And you people go, be patient. You're like, what? I don't want to be patient. That's how I felt all day. Could not wait to get there that night. So I go that night. And I fell in love. I rose in love. I became absolutely swept away by the energy of it, by the music, by her. She beams. It's an energetic beaming. She just beams. And I immediately quit my temp job and followed her around for the next 9 days. Now, me and money have had an interesting relationship over the years. So I'll just say, if I was willing to leave my job for this, that's a big deal. Share if you want to go see a hug like that and maybe feel it from the remote. YouTube. Amachi. AMMACHI. The Hugging Saint. Amachi.org, I think it is. Hello, Wyoming. Welcome to the party. So that started the deeper part of my spiritual journey, but not in the way that I thought it was going to unfold. Yeah, Pepper, it was an extraordinary thing that I just went, and it wasn't a choice. I'm telling you, it was not this. It was not my head. It wasn't that thing where I'm going to trust this. No, my whole body, it was like, I got to get there. That feeling of, I've got to get there right now. I'm going to have to speed in the car. I'm going to have to go fast. I got to get there. I got to be the first person at the door. That feeling, it only left me after, and I don't even know if it's really, really gone, but after like 35 years. Seriously, it always felt like that. And there were a few times where I tried to not go, to stay at a job, and it's not that I quit my job every time I went to see her, but I tried to I really should stay home. And my whole body would go, we got to get there. And one time I actually went into a depression, because a deeper depression because of her, because I wasn't going. So I went, okay, I'm going. And the depression lifted instantly. Yeah, Cher. Listening to your heart. It's actually listening to your heart first. I like to be precise about things. So it's heart first, mind follows. That's how it works. So I still have the flyer from 1988 on pink paper of Amachi is here. You know, that was her second year coming to the U.S. I know that, and Pepper, the head fills with fears, and it does. And so, the trick is she does still hold on a second. Two things at once. The trick is to interrupt that pattern with something that feels a little better, because since feeling is the ground level, we've been taught to ignore it or to distrust it or to push it out. But emotion is our ground level. It is what tells us where we're standing, what we're doing, whether something's good for us or not. We just have to practice coming back to it, honey. It's okay. You don't need to heal one more thing. I fancy that I feel your relief when I say that. You do not have to heal one more thing. You only have to interrupt the pattern. You only have to go, okay, I hear you. Let me do something that feels good at the same time. And let me focus a little more on that and see how that goes. And then if it fails, you go, let me try it again with something else. Let me try it again. Until you go, oh. Okay. Paragon, yes. She stopped coming in during COVID, and she started being live on from India in, I don't know, YouTube or somewhere. I forget where. She came last year. She used to come twice a year. When I first met her, she came once a year. Then she started coming twice a year, in the winter and in the summer. And then she came here just once last summer, I guess it was. And I tried to get people to come with me to see her, because at the time I didn't have the money to really go and do that. And I was working, and I was too poor to not work. So I couldn't make that choice. And I didn't have that incredibly, like, screw everything, you got to go. I didn't have that for once, which is a mercy. But I had two people who'd signed up to come with me, and they both bailed on me. So then I couldn't go see her. So we're hoping she comes back this year. And if you go on to amachi.org, look for her schedule. You'll see. I'm not up on it right now, but I'm hoping she comes back this summer. It is a wild and crazy gathering. When I first went, yeah, ask my take on it, Pepper. And that's exactly how it works, by the way. You interrupt a pattern by noticing the pattern and not immediately going to, oh, I'm that, it's horrible, I'm terrible. You know, the things that religion and traditional social stuff has taught us to feel, like we're to blame. You are not to blame for anything. I mean, you are responsible for your actions. You're responsible for what you do. But if you want to really understand who you are, you're going to understand that you are energy first. You are not physical first. And every time that you realize you are the emotional body first and foremost, and that your brain is simply it's taking that data from your emotion, from your heart, it's taking that data and it's putting it into socially acceptable frameworks that kick your butt. When you realize that, not just here, when you get it, you're like, oh, sweet God, that is crazy. Wow. I love that, Pepper. I know I have gifts and talents. I also feel, I see the capitalization. The world feels that there's no need for them or me. The realization. It's not the world I need to accept or see. It's me. Outer as expression of inner. It's true. You got it. That's true. Now, here's the question. Here's sort of the acid test, if you will. Do you have it? You need it here. So if you have it there, you are in a really good place. But you're not all the way there. Because the rest of it is, how do you accept you? How do you practice feeling the acceptance of you? That's where it gets personal. That's where it gets rubber meets the road. Question, Cher? Oh, I know. It's worth crying over, for real. It's like breaking some kind of falsely sacred agreement that we made, that we would see ourselves as, or feel ourselves, or both, as unworthy, as something to stay away from that person. But it's you. And you know what? This whole idea of letting go is really difficult. I've come up with a concept. Let me share it with you. You guys tell me what you think. And you've probably heard parts of it before, but here it is. We've been co-opted. We've been brainwashed. We've been locked in a tower, an ideological tower. And the rules on the tower wall are: you don't matter. You're not all that important. How you feel doesn't matter. And you have no power anyway, so good luck. And we've taken that in as if it were gospel. Oh, the world is a big thing and it's out there and there's nothing I can do to have an impact on it. I'm just one person. We believe it, right? Like, we've got to be honest about where we're standing before we can shift where we're standing. Is that fair? If you don't know where you're standing, you can't plot your escape. It's basic. It's basic. So let's understand that feeling, okay? Forget the beliefs, forget the attitude, just the feeling of that feeling, Pepper, for instance, that you understand very well, that we all have, but you are currently very attuned to it, very aware of it. That feeling of limitation, that feeling of self-shame, of like, I have all these gifts, but nobody's going to want them. We have to interrupt those patterns. And this is what I'm working on now. This is where I'm working on developing now. Is ways in which we can interrupt those patterns. So one of the things that I like to do is to ask myself practical questions. Do I know for sure that there is absolutely nobody in the world who would want my gifts and to experience my gifts and talents? Well, no, I can't possibly know that. I can't know that. I don't know everybody in the world. Okay, that's good. All right. Well, and how does that feel? Just that. How does that feel? That's kind of a little bit of a relief, honestly. That's what you're looking for. Let yourself off the hook. The patriarchy can't take it. JD, honey, hello. Patriarchy can't take it. They can't govern you when you take back your power. They cannot govern you when you take back your emotional and mental independence. They can't do it. Yes, we're living in a patriarchal world. Yes, but you can make it irrelevant. It's the thing out of the Bible, I think it is. It says the living in the world, being in the world, but not of it. You can do that. Okay, I didn't understand that, Pepper. You're going to have to say that again because I have a feeling it's really awesome. The feeling is true, seems... Oh, more powerful? Is that what you meant? Seems more powerful than the thought that it's not 100%. That is not 100% accurate. So, tell me a little more about that, okay? Okay. You, oh, for heaven's sake, stop it. Sorry, I'm having issues over here. I was working with Chat GPT. No, it was not Chat. I don't use Chat much at all because it's owned by the patriarchy. I use Claude, which is Anthropic, which stood up to the government and said, no, thanks, we're not going to bend a knee. Right, Pepper, you are speaking the dang truth. The brain, okay, let me explain. This gets really interesting. You're telling yourself something with your mind doesn't necessarily override what you feel, right? But if you find something that you can tell yourself that does produce a slightly better feeling state within you, you've just created a bridge. You've just interrupted the grooves in your brain and started reprogramming. It's called neuroplasticity. You have the ability to literally change your mind. What a freaking concept. What a concept. We have entered a time of exploration, and it is the opposite of Star Trek. It is coming inside instead of going outside. Yeah, the rut. See, what happens is the rut is interrupted. Every time I feel crappy and I interrupt, and instead of sitting in the crappy, well, I will still sit in the crappy, but now that I know I don't have to, my interruption of that is quicker. I have more choice, and then I can have a different thing. Hi, Vivian. Welcome to the party. My name's Lori. I'm with the Goodbye Good Girl Project. I help women leaders question all the rules, break them all, so they can make a damn difference. So we can all make a damn difference with our feminine intact. Because our feminine was castrated long ago, and it's back, and she's not quiet. What was I talking about? Let me see. Let me go back here a little bit. Okay. So what we have is we have patterns. We live according to patterns. And because we've been so well trained that you don't have any power, you're only one person, you're only human. Neither of those is true, but okay. That's what we've been trained to believe. So we've got that patterning of expectation. And the only way we're going to get out of it is to interrupt the pattern. Why would you say that, Lori? Why wouldn't you say we have to break the pattern? Why aren't you saying we can just... Because in my personal experience, we cannot. It's not we who do the breaking, but we do the interrupting. The pattern we're breaking is the pattern of being complicit in our own, what's the word I'm looking for? In our own jailing. That's the breaking that we do. The rest of it is interrupting patterns, as far as I can see so far. Yes. We're interrupting the pattern, and we're introducing something that we have no resistance to, right? So to use my example of when I was almost, 4 years ago, and I was like, I've got nothing. All I feel like I'm falling. I'm falling, and I've got nothing to stop me. And I'm just like, and the slightly better feeling thought that I had, the one I didn't, the pattern interrupt of I feel terrible, I'm awful, I'm going to die, all that stuff. That was the depression throughout all of me, physically, mentally, like emotionally, like everything was like crash. And the pattern interrupt the first one, and I didn't trust it, but I was willing to try it because I needed to survive, was I think I might just be a badass because I've been dealing with this for 40 years and I'm still here. Like, I recognize that strength of me. That felt a little, like, tiny. It was tiny. It didn't heal everything. It didn't, oh, thank God, I'm fine now. No, it made a slight shift. See, the patriarchal castle does not want you to realize some things that are true of life. Life takes time. But it doesn't take a long time. It takes a moment for you to sit down, shut the F up, breathe, and receive yourself. We suck at this. We just suck at this. Start not sucking at it. You want to break a pattern? Break that pattern. Sit the hell down. Hi, DJ honey. Sit down. Talk to yourself. Have a conversation. It's a going back and forth. Perspective shifting towards a more free and accurate feeling. The more and yes, you can put it in terms of mindset, Pepper. You are reaching for a slightly better feeling thought. Better feeling thought. See, the reason it's put that way is because we are used to thinking that this runs the show. This does not run your show, baby. Nope. I can prove it to you. What is one thing that you would, when you get together with your girlfriends or your guy friends and you're like, oh God, I would never do that, or I would never put up with that behavior, and then you do it anyway? We've all had it. Oh, thank you, Elena. I appreciate it. Yeah, please share this out, you guys. Please keep hitting the screen for the hearts and all that cool stuff. Hi, Sophia. You don't have to get out of your head. No. In fact, if you're trying to push against, you're still not getting it. You're not getting your maximum impact. You're not doing anything wrong, okay? You're just not getting the maximum impact. Like if we're going, I've got to get out of my head. I've got to break this pattern. I've got to, okay? Then we're doing some subtle violence to ourselves, aren't we? We're shooting on ourselves. We're putting ourselves, oh, you're screwed up. You got to fix it. The patriarchal castle loves that. It keeps you locked in, right? Keeps you locked in the fight. What did the Jesus figure in the Bible talk about? Put down your weapons. It wasn't about put down your weapons against other people. It was put your weapons down against yourself. Put your weapons down against yourself. Understanding that that is an incredible loop that we all share because we've been enculturated together is powerful, because then the next time we do it, we go, oh, wait, I see that. Pepper, you're doing great. You're doing freaking great. You are, seriously, no lie. I'm not just saying it to be nice and helpful. You are doing great. Yes, we are reorienting where we stand in our lives. We're reorienting from, let me look out there and see if all of these people, what they said to do, let me see if that's right. Let me see if I'm behaving correctly. Let me see if I'm going to be okay. Let me see if I do it right, then maybe I'll finally get the reward. All of the crap, all of the dogma, the religious and spiritual dogma lives on that weird level. It has to, because it has nothing to ground in. You understand? It's why the patriarchy is all about mind first. But the mind does not actually come first. It doesn't. Your emotional body is what drives your life. I don't care what the hell you tell yourself with your head. It's your patterns. It's your emotional set points. It's It's the grooves in your brain that have set because you have decided this is the behavior, this is the thought, this is the way things are that are going to keep me safe. Because you're not an idiot. You know you have to keep this body safe if you're going to be on the planet. You're freaking brilliant. You did the right thing. Nobody told you there was a way to expand your abilities and your power. Nobody told you. Even the very thought that like, oh, I'm to blame. If it's not for the fact that like, oh, I reached out and I did something terrible to somebody out of that unconsciousness, and I have to go, I'm responsible for fixing that. That you're responsible for. Your responsibility to yourself? Yeah. Oh, hi, Abigail. Happy Sunday, love. So emotions are really tools to use consciously instead of having it rule our actions. You're on the right path there for sure, because no, in fact, that's spot on. Spot on. Copy that, paste it somewhere, keep it. Seriously. Our emotions are the telephone call from us to us about what's going on. Emotion is the most powerful thing that you own. And they're all just, they're all sort of just, they're there. And then what we've been trained to do, this is one pattern. Again, this is the only time I will tell you to break the pattern. Excellent. Excellent, DJ. That's awesome. Glad you did that. In fact, you know what? Let me go back there and let me do it too. Hold on. Yeah, thanks, Pepper. And thank you, DJ. That's really cool. Your emotions are your telephone call to you. You just keep not picking up the phone because you've been taught that the phone is going to hurt you. That's a lie. It's a patriarchal built lie. Long ago, in the age of Pisces, which we have just left, you need to take an EQ test. Why? Oh my God, that's hilarious, Paragon. Oh my God. You know how people, and I've apparently become one of them, people can like read energy and they can, like hear, like take in the emotional and take in the inspiration and translate it and stuff. Honestly, I think it's just that these are people who have, for whatever reason, allowed themselves to become sensitive to that which is not seen within themselves. They've learned to let themselves matter in some way. Now, not all of us, like everybody's different. We know this, but you cannot be completely cut off from your emotions and do that kind of work. It doesn't happen. That can't be. You can still be an asshole. Oh my God. I met this one man. He was giving a talk at a psychic fair. This is trippy, you guys. He was giving a talk at a psychic fair, and he was talking about how he had these guides and this, that, and the other, and he could heal things. Long story short, because I don't want to focus on him, I don't want to bring his energy in. But long story short, I had a question about depression because his idea was that it all starts with a thought. And I've heard that before, and it's not true. But I didn't know for sure that it wasn't true. I had 40 years of depression, and I was like, I know that sometimes I would go deeper in depression just because I would feel something. I couldn't name it, but something would happen, and I'd be like, and he got apparently really triggered because he did something psychically not so great to me that I then needed to get some healing for. Fortunately, at the time, I knew somebody who could do that kind of work. But you can be an idiot, you can be a moron, you can be a bad bad actor in life. But you can't connect at all if you don't have some connection to your emotions. Your emotions are not just labelable tools. You know, you go, yeah, I know what anger feels like. Yeah, you might. But if you sit the hell down with your emotion, if you sit with your emotion and you let yourself feel it, and you dare to challenge yourself not to find a solution for it, not to try to fix it, not to do that. If you can just let yourself experience it, you are going to find that like insight comes in, insight comes in about it. And you start to heal at such a deep level from your self disgust that you've been trained to have. You start to become aware that there is a really lush you right here. You're like, oh my God, I am so freaking wise. Yeah. Yeah, you are. So you can't heal the self-disgust by trying to push it out. You can't. You cannot. How do I know? Because you've already tried for 20 years, haven't you? How long do you need to prove that that doesn't work? Do you really think you're that incapable that 20 years wouldn't have done it? No, it's because the methodology doesn't work. You cannot push out the dark. You never, ever come home and open the door to your apartment at night and take a bucket and try to push out the dark. You never do that. You just turn on the light. So if we take that and we extrapolate that to our situation, what we pushes back. DJ, that's freaking hilarious. I live behind a Catholic church school, and they're over there honking at each other. That's funny. It made me see a bunch of geese in my head. That's funny. You cannot push out the darkness. You cannot push against what hurts you and expect that it will go. You've just given it either glue, or you've given it something to push even harder against. And that frustrates us because we're like, but I don't know what else to do. So I'm going to tell you what else to do. The cure is not more pushing. The cure is not more self-loathing. The cure is to allow something different, this much. Because this much you're not going to fight against. The patriarchal castle is installed in all of us. So what we need is to find the little things that even the guards won't notice. What won't the guards notice? The guards don't speak emotion. They speak regulation of emotion. They speak, oh, hey, you should judge yourself for that. This is not about this journey that we're on now in the age of Aquarius, in this new age. We cannot do it using the old rules and the old expectations. We can't. We cannot move into this new as easily if we keep believing that what we're looking for is healing from being flawed, healing from being screwed up, original sin, whatever the translation is in your world. That is the old Age of Pisces setting. The new setting is I am literally made of something I can't see. But I know that it's there because I've read stories of other people who've done remarkable emotional healing, physical healing, consciousness healing, people who've changed their lives, people who've healed from cancers, spontaneously. I know this chick, Lori, who healed her 40 years of clinical depression over 5 days' time. Like, I know there's something here and there's something more here. I know it. And I have to either think that I'm a complete moron and that's why I'm not doing it, or I just don't know how yet. Which do you choose? I want you to put it in the chat right now. I want you to connect this to this. Which do you want? Do you want to say I'm too much of an idiot? That's why I cannot do it? Or do you just want to say I just don't know how yet? Thank you, DJ, and good for you. Which do you want? Because one shuts you down, which is the patriarchal castle. One throws open the doors and goes, I'm standing at the door. I have no idea where to even start, but the door is freaking open. And Pepper, can I tell you how powerful your emotional honesty is? I want you to really understand how freaking powerful and beautiful that is. I want to be open to it being real, even if it's not expressed yet. What that says to me, and thank you, Elena, for saying what you said. When you say, I want to be open to it being real, you are expressing in a gorgeous and emotionally intimate way, I'm not sure. That's perfect. Where are you? This is the first place you have to stand. What do I think about this thing that this person is saying? What do I feel about this? Yeah, it's not just what do you think. What do you feel? I feel like, I don't know. Great. That's great. Now, the next part of it is, how do you move forward? We're here because we're yearning for something more, right? We're here, we're yearning for life to be different. The things that we have clung to that are important are the things that mean the most to us emotionally, like being kind to other people. That one's easy for us to understand. That one's easy for us to feel. Oh, you lost your mom. I'm so sorry. Uber librarian. That's the key to the lock, babe. That's the key to the lock. How we feel before we can name it, put a little seal on it, and put a top on the box. That's where our biggest power interrupt is. So keep that. Keep that. DJ, that's not just your challenge, my love. It's everybody's challenge. Do you understand? It's everybody's challenge. This is what we need to do. It's core, it's central, it's critical. Not critical like, if I don't become the most self-loving person today, I will die. It's not that. But do you want to have the ability to move from I'm a victim to my life to I have a massive impact on the direction of my life? Are we having light bulb moments here? Are we having a little bit of a like, oh, I can start to think about this a little differently? It seems like it. Kitty Fondue. That's a great name. Thank you for the follow. We have to play a different game now. The old game, the patriarchal game is you're flawed and you need to be fixed before you can receive. The new game is I am whole and complete. I am separated from my experience of my real being, and I'm going to practice any ways that I can find to feel it in tiny, tiny ways, because the tiny, tiny ways, the patriarchal castle, and we cannot see. I will not fight myself. Oh my God, Priscilla, you're so sweet. My hand can't take notes fast enough. So much wisdom you've cultivated. That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Thank you. Okay. Two completely different games. Completely different games. This one is a patriarchal loop designed to keep you like this. This one, right? You know, and understand that because you are so enculturated, so accustomed to the patriarchy, to that whole way of thinking and feeling, as we all are, that you will, hello, Omatayo, you will, oh, that's great, DJ. I'm glad you feel beautiful energy here. You will spend the rest of your life with this new game. So let me tell you, here's what I'm trying to express. The old rules say, you better work it. It says, sorry, RuPaul. It says that you have to effort at something, and then you have to get it, and then you have to be able to be at that. You have to be that thing from now on without interruption. It's like you have to go to school, get that PhD or whatever the hell it is, and now you have to be that PhD. So when we're in personal growth, we make the understandable mistake, but it's a mistake, of thinking that that in our personal growth, I have to get it and then I have to have it. No, that is the old patriarchal way of learning. Yeah, exactly, DJ. Okay, because the old way of thinking is very, very backwards. It's backwards. The new way is, I have just not been given the tools. I've been actively taught to not pick up the tools that govern 90% of my life. 90% of your life is run by your emotions, and you are running from them. That should piss you off. It's not your fault, but it should piss you off. Right? It's as you walk this, as you go into a moment where you're feeling something that scares you, or something that confuses you, or something that makes you feel bad, the only breaking you can do is the breaking of your pattern of just going, oh, well, there's nothing I can do about it. That's the big lie you want to break every single time. You're not going to break it once. You're not going to break it 10,000 times. You're going to break it a million fucking times, okay? Because that's the new game. Abigail, yes. Being silenced early on makes finding my voice even more powerful. That is what we came for on another level. There's so many things that we came for. And one of them is that bliss of, like, being to use Abraham's imagery, being the beach ball that we're holding ourselves under the water. And when we finally let go, we come up. It is Pepper. It is a choice we make over and over and over again. And in so doing, we start to recognize who we really are, which is like energy and choice and mystery and magic. We don't even think we're mysterious. Are you kidding? Oh no, God's mysterious. I'm just human. No, you're not. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. You're standing in the wrong place because you were taught to. So be a rebel. Be a revolutionary. Dare to matter. Oh, there's not just women in here. There's also Paragon, who says he needs to take a EQ test. Honey, we all do. But I do. I think, yeah, we are mystical and magical and amazing. And what is the Star Trek thing? What is it? Go where no one has gone before. Thank God they changed it from no man. Where no one has gone before. You know where no one has gone before? Inside you. Let the frustration be a message to you. Let it spark a conversation, Pepper. Pepper says, I see and feel that mystery of divine self, and at the same time, I act counter to that. Yes, you do. Welcome to the party, pal. It's what we've been taught to do. We've been taught to castrate the feminine. We need to welcome it back. We need to start to dip our toes into the water of our own emotion, of our own senses, our own instinct, our own intuition. How many times have I said to women, oh my God, that woman was going through this with that guy. I would never put up with that information. I would never put up with that kind of behavior. And you know what I did? I put up with that kind of behavior. And so my question became, where's the bridge? How come I know this, but I don't do this? And of course, the patriarchal castle tells you it's because you're an idiot and you don't know stuff. Not true. That's just the castle doing its work of keeping you in a game that doesn't work for you as a full human. Okay? You are becoming a full human if you're listening to this stuff and you're like vibing with it. You are stepping into allowing the concept that the old game of, see, you are not important, how you feel is not important, you got no power in life, doesn't work. It doesn't work. It never worked for anybody. Do you think that orange nightmare in the White House right now is happy? You're kidding yourself. It doesn't work. It puts you into a complete sense of lack, victimhood. It locks you there. You don't deserve it. So be determined that, God damn it, I'm going to stop being my own motherfucking jailer. Right? That's the kind of anger we need. It's the generative anger. It's the anger infused with the feminine of like, I need something that is generative and nurturing and freeing. That's what we need, but we can't do it. The hard part right now is that we think, thank you, Lubna, we think the only way to do it is fight because that's what we've been taught. So take it easy on yourself. We're all screwed up. But at least we're all screwed up together. Okay? We're all screwed up together. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to walk each other the hell out of this. And we're going to do it every single day by ourselves. And we're going to come here every day and do it together. And we're going to do it. I will no longer be my own jailer. Or I at least won't be my unconscious jailer. Because all of those things that come up in me that I'm like, that do the jailer job, now I can see it. Now I'm like, oh, there, that's okay. Yeah. So now, and then the next thing is not being angry at yourself and beating yourself up because that's part of the old game. Do you see it? That's part of the old game. Oh, you're to blame. You're to blame. You're to blame. Really? I don't think so. I think that we are swimming in a toxic sea and we've learned to breathe toxic air. And we've been trained to believe that the toxic air and the toxic everything is us. We were taught that. We were taught it in religion and we were given dogma to back it up. Oh, see, but Jesus said, no, he didn't. You're not even reading the Bible correctly. None of that shit happened. It's all allegory. It's all representing through, and I kid you not, it all represents through physics, astrology, numerology, nervous system. It It represents you and how you blossom as your true spiritual, true energetic self within this human experience. The Bible, the Kabbalah, the Quran, all of it, they are how-to manuals for how to awaken. They are not how-to manual. They're not instruction manuals for how to know you're an idiot and that you're flawed and you should go and kick your ass until you die and maybe then God will love you. God already loves you. You're made of God stuff. You are made of God stuff. We'll see how many people leave when I say that, but you're made of God stuff. You don't have any problem with saying that you were made of your mother's tissue. Why do you have a problem saying that your energetic part was made of God stuff? I don't understand. So what is God stuff? What the hell is that? What are we talking about? See, we've got to get practical. Spirituality at its highest is frickin' practical. Really practical. What is this God stuff we're made of? Well, it's energy, it's emotion, it's intuition, it's light, it's photon. Probably Paragon can tell us about photon, but photon is energy. Somebody made a what do you call it? Somebody made a bumper sticker. It said, "Honk if you love photon." You don't have to call it God. You don't have to call it anything. You don't have to call it anything. It's funny to me, croutons. Yeah, so Luminous says they condition implicit bias and doubt our inner voices. So here's the really important question. When we see that we've doubted our inner voice, when we see that we've doubted what we're feeling and thinking and seeing and saying and what all that stuff, what do you do next? This is where you have to interrupt the pattern. Okay? Thanks for the follow, Teddy. You have to interrupt the pattern. Oh, hello, Kenya. Kiss Kenya for us. It's a beautiful place. I haven't been yet, but beautiful place. So we know a lot. The age of Pisces, I just read this the other day and I thought this was an interesting idea. You can take it or leave it, but I thought this was really interesting. So before the age of Pisces was the age of Taurus. Ah, bonjour, mon ami. Ça va? And I don't know what the age of Taurus was about. I still have to look it up. The age of Pisces, because we are human beings, we're always in this enormous evolution of the human species over tens of thousands of years. Oui, ça va. Je suis merveilleuse. So over tens and hundreds of thousands of, like, we are evolving from what to what? Well, according to this one writer that I read yesterday, I can't remember the name, we decided, or our godness decided that we would see how far away from our source we could get and still remember that who we are. And the age of Pisces was about coming into the mind. It was about, let's just focus on the mind is the answer. And so look at what's happened over the last 21,000 years. Is it 21,000? 2,100? Anyway, look at what's been happening. Like, we went through like the age of like the Renaissance and just all kinds of cool stuff. And then we've got another French speaker, DJ, thank you. So we created lots of stuff. We created AI. But AI is the bridge between this and this, if we let it. if we allow ourselves to stay ourselves and not make AI the expert like it is in the old patriarchal way. Do you understand? When I started working with AI a few months ago on all this stuff I'm teaching you, I suddenly saw where I was trying to, in just one moment, I was going, oh, so I must be wrong about that. And I went, wait a second. This is a programmed thing, and I'm going to push back. And so now I have this incredible tool at my disposal that I am the teacher. I am the one that pulls the information that I can't pull all on my own nearly as fast as it can. And because I now have something to mirror back, I can see where my own thinking might be either flawed, or I go, oh my God, that phrase you used to describe what I just said to you is so freaking brilliant. Please capture it. Lock it down. I'm going to use it. And by the way, I just had an idea from that. Oh my God, I just had an insight. Ooh. Okay. I caught my AI being patriarchal with me this morning. And it was like, you're right. I was. Let me try again. I'm like, you better. You follow another person that dared to ask AI where she was feeding the patriarchal system. That's brilliant. And also it can put you into a patriarchal loop. So it's good to be careful of that too. It can. I'm like, don't even. Yeah, no. No. Good. Abigail, I'm glad that's not the way she was doing it. And I assumed she was doing it correctly, actually. But I'm just saying, it's easy to go, where am I screwing up? Instead of, where am I off course? There's a difference. Right? There's a difference. So I have a question for you. Oh, they're trying to make AI programs lie? I wouldn't be a bit surprised. That's cool. If you wouldn't mind sending me her name, that would be nice. I would like that. So here's my question for you guys. We've now walked through the idea that we are made of the energy that creates worlds. We're actually made of source code, if you will, that is limitless, that is vast. And so therefore, we physically, emotionally, intellectually, we have access to something that we've been told we don't have access to. And we have believed it. But we're at the place now where we're going, I'm not really comfortable in this little box. I want to come out. I want to come out and play. And so we're like, oh, emotion's not the devil? Emotion's not the enemy? Wait a minute. Emotion is a big key? Wait, emotion is my freedom? Huh. So the question is, what do you do? What do you do next? What do you do? What are you going to do? With this information, you want to decide what you can do, like what little attitudes or little pattern interrupters you can use as you move out of this TikTok thing and into the rest of your day. What is a little pattern interrupter that you can take? Can it be, oh, I'm in a patriarchal loop, I see it now? Can it be, I'm believing in my limitations and I know that's not actually true? I'm going to purposely use see emotions as gauge of alignment check-ins. That's beautiful. And let me tell you, you will get pushback from your programming. Yes, honey, I do. I post them on YouTube. I post them on YouTube. Thanks for asking. It's here, let me see if I can find. I'm never certain of what link to give out. So let me become certain right now. Okay? Hold on a minute. Just look for at Goodbye Good Girl Project. At Goodbye Good Girl Project. Just notice, see, the shift that we're having to make is so small. And it is in the small that the huge lives. It is in the small that transformation lives. We've been sold a bill of goods. Oh, you have to jump over the building in one tall thing. You have to be Superman. You leapt over the building in one single bound. That's nice. I'm glad you got springs on your shoes. It's not how growth works. So what we're trying to do here, what I'm trying to teach, is that we need to clear the mind of the old crap by understanding new crap. You can't just go, I have to throw it out. Patriarchal loop. Anytime it's a violent thing without a sense of, what's the phrase? Inspired action, inspired anger, inspired whatever. Now you're in the right ballpark. That's okay, because that's clean, if you will, because the feminine is on board first. The feminine is going, this is wrong for me. It's not saying this is wrong for everybody in the whole world. So this is wrong for me. This is wrong for me. No. And so that no is not a violence against yourself. It's a violence. It's not even a violence, but it's a boundary. It turns from being a violence into being a boundary. No. Now you're Neo. Now you're Neo in the Matrix with the bullets coming at him after he came back to life. No. It's not, no, you get away from me. You bullets, I hate. No, it's just no. Nope. Nope, not buying. No. And that no is to those parts of programming of yourself. You're not hating yourself. You're going, those pieces of programming, I'm not down with this anymore. I'm done. But you're not just saying it. Now you're feeling it. Because if you don't have all of yourself, you're going to go against yourself. It's just the way we're built. It's the actual physical and emotional and mental sort of setup. It's why we drive ourselves nuts. It's how we drive ourselves nuts. DJ, you say you're slowly walking away from it. Honey, I want you to always walk slow. You're not walking anywhere. You are letting the light in. You're letting the light in. You're letting the truth in. Your truth. I'm always in a rush too. You know I am, sister. Yeah. So this is part of my remembering every time I get in a rush. It's like, okay, Lori, sit down, take a breath. What do I need to remember or do or think or feel to lighten this situation, to bring in a little bit of light for me? And oh, that's great. I'm so glad. Yeah, the more we practice seeing what's not helping and leaning into what does emotionally, and then seeing how that, measuring, daring to look at how that impacts the quality of our lives, the more we get to that place where we can go, oh my God, I actually have impact on my own life. I actually have power. Oh my God, I actually can change my life. I could actually transform. I mean, This is a building. This is a building kind of situation. The old thing is like acquire, get it, leave the field. That's bullshit. Absolute crap. It doesn't work. It never did. The only thing it ever worked for was for people being able to control you and to teach you to control yourself. That's what it's good for. Okay. Glad I'm that smart that I know that. Now, let me go learn this other game. This other game where I'm in constant unfolding, where I'm in, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And you know what? The old way of me is going to go, you idiot, you should know. And I see that, but it doesn't feel good. So I'm going to take something else and I'm going to like let myself a little bit off the hook here, or else I'm just going to say, screw this. I'm not going to think about that right now. I'm going to go and give myself something that feels better. And I'll come back to that problematic thing later if I want to, or if it's not gone. It's a dance with yourself. It's not this. It's a dance. And you are no longer constantly holding your hand on the beach ball of you under the water. You're actually letting it up. Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. And when you learn it, then you teach it in some way. Tell it to a friend. We are miracles. And what we need is the understanding of how that can be true for us as human beings, how we can engage that knowing in ways that allow us to experience some freaking relief. Even the idea of like enlightenment is patriarchally punishing. Oh, I'm not there yet. The minute you don't care if you're there yet, you're pretty enlightened. Oh my. Thanks for the ring light. That's another one of the patriarchal loops, DJ. Anything that makes you feel less than free and discovering and unfolding and slightly better. And see, it's not going for I'll never feel bad again. It's I'll never be ruled by the bad feelings again. I'll never be enslaved again. I may have to go through them for quite a while, but I'm not enslaved. I can make an impact. I can change the nature a little bit so I don't have the feeling plus feeling like I'm enslaved. That's big. It's big. Really, really, really big. And you deserve to have that. You deserve to give that to yourself. You deserve to start understanding. You cannot leave this and go, I got it. I'm going to do it. You can, but understand that this is something that we are being asked to live, explore, unfold into. This is the new earth being built in you. Because our entire world, but I'll just keep it to country for now. Our entire country, world, our entire world is created of our collective energy. That's how it works. Mother Gaia. And also Mother Photon, Father Photon, whatever. Like energy. We are this entire crap show that we're looking at right now is a result of our collective energy. Now you may go, but that means we're really screwed up. That is not what it means. That's not what it means. What you're seeing is the destruction of the old. And it is so damn loud and so damn threatening. That it catches our attention, as it should. I mean, hello. But we need to make room for something else as well. We need to make room for something else as well. What is that? What do we need to make room for? Emotion, energy, intuition, inspiration. All the things the patriarchy said are really weird and weak and useless are the very things that we need. You matter. And you have to let yourself matter. You have to. Nobody else is going to do it. Nobody's riding over the hill on a white horse. Friends will help you. We will be each other's heroines and heroes. Hi, Trish. I'm doing great, honey. How are you? But nobody's going to come and rescue you from you, because you've been made the guard at your own tower door. You are the rescue. And you've got this. You do. It's just, it's the opposite of the patriarchal lessons. It is little tiny steps. You're going to, for the rest of your life, if you like the idea of this path, if you like the idea of unfolding to yourself, the rest of your life, you will take nothing but baby steps. Because it's that same concept as you take one step and God takes 100. Have you heard that one? I never understood that before. Now I know. Now I get it. It's, imagine that you are seeing something blocking a flow of water. It doesn't take it breaking 100 times for the water to go through. It only has to break apart once and the water goes through. Right? The whole idea of you have to struggle, you have to suffer, you're not strong enough, you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, you're not educated enough, that's all patriarchal stuff. It all tells you that there are limitations on you. And if you can find just one time in your day of 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and sit down and see if you can receive something different, a different message. Sit in the silence. Listen to the silence. Literally listen to the silence within your head. Let yourself be in that emptiness. That is where you are the most pregnant, is in your own just, I got nothing. That's the real meaning of surrender. It's like, okay. And what you're letting in is, you're not letting not you in, you're letting your feminine in. Abigail, so do I. I love the silence. When you make yourself that womb for just a few minutes, if it's too hard, do it for 1 minute. It's a practice. It's a practice. And the reason you would practice it, though, is individual to you. What do you want? Right? Like, I don't want to be enslaved to my own crud anymore. I don't want to believe in limitation, and I don't believe in it, but I want to really, in every way, not believe in it. I want to continue to interrupt that pattern wherever it shows up in me of believing in my limitation. And I want to interrupt it with something that changes the energy in that moment, because that energy is doing the breaking. We're doing the interrupting. The energy does the breaking. It's what healed my brain. It's what rewired my freaking brain in 5 days. Complete rewiring of my brain. No longer clinically depressed. After 40 years. What the hell? I was up this morning early talking with Claude about, I'm trying to map this along with physics and some other stuff, because I want to understand and be able to bring to you what happened. So, oh, Paragon, say more, please. Synaptogenesis. Okay, I'm loving that word. The word that Claude gave me this morning, let's see if I can find it. Here we go. Let me see. The word that Claude gave me, it's going to have to go down here. Interoception. Interoception. We're continually evolving by transforming energy within our brain cells. Wow. Wow. Hold on, I'm taking screenshots here. Hold on. So, up until now, generally speaking, as a human species, we've been evolving unconsciously, like not deliberately. Do you know what I mean? But what I'm talking about is you can frickin' evolve deliberately. Fabulous. Wow. There is so much available to us, and we've got to start to understand that the very thing that we're fighting against, that we're going, I have to heal this, or I'm wrong about that, or I'm that is a dead end. It's a dead end, and we have the support of astrology right now to interrupt those patterns and see them break for many, many more of us. This is the time. This is it. This is the time. It looks like a crap time. It feels like a crap time. Scary. I don't like it. I don't approve. I object, Your Honor. I do. But I know that the more time I spend objecting and being scared and upset, the less time I get to invest in what really frees me and us. So I have to give myself some time. I have to give myself some space each day, whenever I think of it, whenever I'm aware of it, whenever I want to, whenever I can, of freedom from the internal stress. I'm very focused all the time now on how I feel. Like right now, my chest inside, it feels a little bit painy. There's a point at which I'm not even going to be able, I expect, to talk about the stuff that is upsetting. Because to talk about it impacts my system. And I'm of no use resonating with that. We want to stop resonating with all of that. That's cool, DJ. We have to allow ourselves to start resonating here more, not instead. If you try instead, you are engaging in this patriarchal crap again. I'm not going to do that anymore. Yeah, you are. You're not the one who can break this pattern. You're the one who can interrupt the pattern with something that's so much more powerful than it. It's rendered irrelevant, and you can even rewire your own brain. But you're not doing the rewiring. You're doing that break that the water can flow through. Your job is so much easier than you think it is. It's so much easier than I think it is. Okay, DJ, honey, lots of love. Have a good day. Yeah, it's time for all of us to go. It's been a couple hours. Sorry I was late this morning. Yeah, love to everybody here. If you want to follow my work, my website is Goodbye Good Girl, not Goodbye Girl. Be very careful. Goodbye Good Girl. I'm also on YouTube. I'm on Substack. And I love you guys. You are so awesome, all of you. you don't know yet, maybe, just how powerful your Moonlight. I didn't even know you were here, baby. I love you back. You don't know how powerful your questioning itself is. You are open. You've done this. Every time you question, every time you go, oh wait, you're opening. You're opening. And it's not that you're opening and then it closes again. No. You're opening and then it stays here. And then you're like, oh, I need more room, I need more room. And then you question again. And it goes like this. And you go, oh, I need more room, I need more room. And you question again. It goes like this. Freedom. Freedom. All right. Have a good day, my loves. And I'll be back tomorrow at 5 Eastern.